Hey folks, welcome back. The pixel art in my game is lacking, I think, and so to speed up the process of improvement, I decided to pick up art. You need to pick up art if you're going to make good art. And I bought some books, so I will show some screenshots and talk about the books. I made an attempt to record the video on my phone, but it didn't turn out very well. So I'm going to do I took screenshots. So yeah, let me begin. Let's start with the C# player guide. It's not an art book, but it is game development related. And in case I ever decide to make a game in Unity, I don't intend to read that for a while, but I have it. And it might transfer to RPG Maker if I do JavaScript or something of the sort. C# player guide. I like it. We have some pencils, some art pencils, different than your regular pencils, and a kneaded eraser, and yeah, stuff like that. So, next one. I got another one, and this has more pencils, color pencils, and tools for art and such, because to do pixel art, I have to get the color theory down, so once I get to the color theory part, that should come in handy. And I don't have the book here, but I do intend to order a book or two on color theory, because color theory is important, especially in pixel art. Alright, we have some anime books. So female figure, clothing, and that's for both male and female, even though there's female on the front, there's a guy there. And yeah, so learn to make clothing and wrinkles in the clothing and such. Learn to make the female body, because there will be females in games. Females have hair, so learn hairstyles and your standard how to draw. I don't think this will be of too much use, but it might be. It might be. I have read and found that it seems the realistic art books that came out in the 60s and such, as where most people learn the art fundamentals and such. So I think I will. This is more for fun to draw, because anime is, look at that face. That's quite an easy shape to draw. I don't particularly like the triangle faces. On guys I don't, but on girls I guess it's okay. But yeah, I have a few different art styles to practice. This is a manga series, female figure, basics and beyond. I'll probably spend a lot of time in this book. Another one, this is manga panels. On the phone video, I was flipping through the pages. I can't do that here because there's only some pictures. I can make manga panels and maybe a short manga as I practice. Then how to draw the male figure. You have the male and the female figure, so everything's covered. Male, female, basics, and the panels. And also perspective, which will come. And here's another one for this how to draw manga series. And this is the faces. So that should come in handy. And this I do not think will be too useful. I think these kind of how to draw things, I could be wrong. I'm a beginner, amateur. I only started this. I think these, they'll have a thing that they draw and you draw it like they draw it. So you don't learn how to draw it from different angles, which is where I think you have to go to the realistic art books to learn. And then I got this because I was going through one of these other books, and it mentions you should have a ruler for straight lines, a triangle, and this thing for circles. So it's your standard math shape set so you can make perfect shapes. So that should come in handy. And I have 2 books on perspective, because when you're making a character at an angle, you'll need to follow the same angle as the environment. So this will help to make different environments at different angles. Then a pocket anatomy book, so you can get anatomy done in a more easily to understand way. And I was going through this book, and that's where it talked about needing the triangle and the circle and all that stuff. So how to draw comics the Marvel way. I like this one, the faces, how they draw the faces in Western cartoons and comics, more than the faces of anime, because they're more structured. than it seems anime faces tend to be, but that depends on the anime art style. There's more than one anime art style. On a more combat shonen type of anime, fighting show, it's I think the male faces are more detailed. It's good to have both, so I can take the anime style and the Western style and the realistic style and make my own style out of it. So I will see how that works. And here come the realistic stuff, and I have more on the way. So George Bridgman is one of the classics they talk about that you should have. So Foundations of Drawing here, and then these three by George Bridgman from I think the 50s or 60s. How to Draw Faces, Constructive Anatomy, The Human Machine. I like that name. So learn from the realistic and learn from the cartoon, and I'm making an attempt to learn this the same way one would learn a career path in university. So I will have to go through the stuff that may not be the most exciting and the practices and stuff like gesture drawing and so on and so forth. Do the studying and learn why things are the way they are, and hopefully improve that way. Make my own comic strips while I'm improving art. So it should be fun. And this is not art related. So those were the art books. I have 19 so far. There's more on the way, and I think I might order another 20 or 30. Because thinking about this in the college, university kind of way, you have your huge tuition, and you buy all the books, and you put a bunch of money up front so that you can learn it as you need it. So I'm okay with spending a bunch of money on these books. It's much cheaper than taking a course at a school. So, and then I can learn on my own pace as well. So I think it should work. Anyways, my game is written in Middle English, Old English, King James Bible English. So I bought a few of these books. Middle English Reader's Vocabulary by J.R.R. Tolkien, who made Lord of the Rings. But he was a professor, so he did more than only Lord of the Rings. So I find that quite interesting. A concise dictionary of Middle English. So there's that. And English etymology. And these are all old books from, I think, the 40s or the 1800s or something of the matter. So they're old books, so they should be useful. And a few of these other books, they're not related, but Pilgrim's Progress did inspire my game. I listened to an audiobook of it, and it is very interesting. You have a protagonist, and he's on a journey to find heaven. And he meets other characters along the way, and there's certain problems along the way. So after listening to this audiobook and being inspired by it, I have a character who is on a journey as well, similar to Pilgrim's Progress. And here's some other books he wrote. And this is a different book. I was converted from this guy who told this preaching in, I think, 2009, 2010, something around that time. And I thought I'd include it. Anyways, those, I think, yeah, that is all of them. So I'm going through this book. This is a video of my journey, the beginning of my journey. So whatever the date is today, this is where the art begins. And hopefully in the future, I can show some art and go through the journey and show the improvements. So the journey begins here. I forgot to mention this book. I have another one called Morpho, Anatomy for Artists. And there's a large amount of books by Morpho. So I will have to go and purchase a bunch of them. See you guys in the next one, and hopefully you like the video and join me on my journey to art improvement. See you.